Destry Davenport from Sandy Hook, Mississippi. And as Destry gets ready to go, she was a 2014 NBAJ Open World Champion.
And you see Talmadge back there. This is actually Talmadge's girlfriend, so she's part of Team Talmadge. So if I was her, I'd be pretty confident because I guarantee he has this horse tuned up. It's Buddy Rose. He actually has no papers. 9 years old, no papers.
All right, goes that left barrel first, and this is a scatty-looking little horse here.
Yeah, he looks kind of more like a roping horse, and Destry used to be a roper, and now she's a barrel.
Nice.
Looks like a good run.
I'm telling you what, this looks good. 14-13. The top 10 overall this weekend will move on to the American. This is not a multi-round. It's not a shootout round. We had 30 different girls, 10 each performance. She's 6th right now with that 14-134.
How about Talmadge is happy?
How about that? How did he do? Everybody's wondering how he did in the preliminary round.
He had a little bobble at the second barrel.
Okay, didn't make it.
Didn't make it, but here's Laura Kennedy.
She's from Whitman, Arkansas. She's riding a horse that made some headlines at the American last year.
Yeah, this is Tall Boy, who June Holman rode last year. Everybody loves Tall Boy. Everybody wanted Tall Boy. Laura's husband actually tried for a year and a half to get this horse bought. Got him bought. She had never even thrown a leg over him and went and ran at the Calgary Stampede.
And
she didn't do very well there, but the next 3 months she won over 30,000. I love this horse.
Whoa! Too tight. Now, a lot of you may remember Gene Holman. We talked about at the top of the show, the 70-year-old that almost got some of the $1 million at the American last year. That's the horse. The new jockey, Laura Kennedy. But unfortunately, a barrel comes down.
You know, with a horse this big and this fast and a little setup like this, one tiny little mistake. Right here. See, she just kind of sent him up there a little too high. So when he came back, she's got it leaving it.
Tough break for Laura Kennedy out of Arkansas.
Hey, she'll be back next year.
There's Talmadge again helping one of his students right now, Ali Schwest out of Louisiana.
Now, this is a 14-year-old who's only been running barrels for 2 years.
14 years old.
Watch
girl.
out. She got the first barrel. Now, she kind of came off of it.
Oh,
which
no.
Set her up. That's what happens when you don't finish the first barrel like that in this tiny arena. It's hard to get in the correct position for the second barrel.
Tough break for the 14-year-old. We have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old that we're going to watch here in this performance. Barrel comes down, 5-second penalty. And Ali will not make it to the American.
Just that one tiny, just a tiny bit, she couldn't get over to finish it, so.
Got to finish that barrel, keep yourself enough pocket to move around all the way around. That's a tough break, but another opportunity for a young person to get some great experience as we go to the Colorado Springs Pikes Peak or Bus champion, who got automatically invited by being the champion there on RFD TV. California Circuit champion, Ann Scott.
This is one of my favorite horses. It's a dash of fame. Awesome first barrel.
A 10-year-old that's really good around number 2 as well.
Little slip on that third.
I thought I might have seen a little bit on that first barrel too, but a 14-3-11 is 10th right now. Ooh. Probably not going to hold.
I don't think so.
So that is the time to get in, 14:31. We're going to take a look at that first barrel. Yeah, there was some slippage going on.
You've been watching a lot of barrel racing, Justin.
I have to.
I know.
Married to one.
See right there?
Oh.
Those dash of fames, they really get on their hind end. And I think sometimes that just hurts them a little every once in a while. Now, this is Carson, 10 years old, on her 9-year-old horse, Muffin. This is part of Team McLeod. She's been riding with her since she's 6 years old. I talked to her dad earlier during the opening, and he was crying. He's probably my favorite rodeo dad.
Oh, Carson Daniels, McKinney, Texas, is a fireball.
Jeez.
Wow. Oh, you talk about somebody that's got her jaw set.
Oh!
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it. You talk about a cowgirl that came in here with some intensity, Samantha.
Oh.
Oh, my.
Not very many horses would have gotten around that first barrel.
Would have been in the top 5, but she catches the barrel. Oh, man. Thank her dad didn't try it now.
And look who's down there, the first one, Talmadge.
He's a great supporter of young people, especially.
Man, that right there is an awesome horse. Just finished it too tight. There's nothing really to say besides she just finished it too tight.
Maybe he had that nose tip just a little bit too much. I don't know though. She's a pretty good rider.
She is.
Yeah, that is just very, very impressive. So impressive. So, as we talk about what's impressive, Shelly Anzik is a story we've been following. She's worked her way back to the semifinals. We may reacquaint you with the story last year. Shelly Anzik out of Montana, all she had to do was keep the 3 barrels standing, and she was going to split some of that million with bareback rider Richie Champion. It was a pretty good start around number 1, number 2, but then
she kind of blew off the second a little bit, but I'm telling you, it looks easier than it is when you're really going there and you just think, I'm almost there and I have 1 more barrel.
Especially with $1 million on the line. This is what she had to say.
Well, if I get the opportunity, I do a lot of things different because my horse got pretty tight in there with all the commotion and the flames, and the first 2 girls knocked barrels over, and my thought was just keep them up, and just go make a smooth run. But I was pretty sore by then, and I don't know, that barrel went over, and it was kind of life-changing.
Life-changing in that you think about it every day, and every time you go to the next round, you tell me I could have a $500,000 of cushion here.
I'm sure I would not want that feeling, but you know what? I guarantee it made her ride harder and work on that every time. The third barrel, and me as a barrel racer, when you have a good run and you have 1 more, that's my downfall.
Yeah, well, it was certainly hers. As we take a look at the current standings, this is what it's going to take to move on so far, with 5 more to go and then 10 more tomorrow. So Ann Scott is a 14-3-1-1. What's it going to take to get in the top 10? It's a 1-hitter. That's the question. Probably, Samantha, when you say a 14-1, let's see what Troy can do here. Troy Drummond, this is your pick, maybe to win the go-around.
He better not let me down.
All right, we're going to find out. He's won $4 million.
And in 2000, he was the highest money winner of barrel racing at all times, $450,000. This mare has been to the NFR, has been everywhere, but she will get tight. But if she gets her
well, there you go.
Tripped, the reins out of his hand.
Really
bad.
Really dropped into that first barrel.
And that's our deal. That's why she cuts the clock off. She runs in there so tight, and straight lines are faster. And if you watch videos of her, that's what she does. That's how she cuts the clock off. But
sometimes then she's diving in there, and he was doing everything he could to keep her out of there.
Not very many people could probably do that. I think she probably overreached too when she went in there like that.
Might have grabbed the front foot, yeah. Well, it's over for your pick. Troy Crumrine will not be the $1 million winner at the American. As we go now to Shelby Herman.
This is South Texas cowgirl like me. She moved to Stephenville. She's on a rodeo scholarship. This is a Calbred horse she calls Doc.
And just a freshman in college, isn't she?
Right, her first year in college.
She inhaled that first barrel and then way off the second barrel.
He tripped on that second barrel too. I don't know why these horses are tripping, but it's cost him.
How is the ground, in your opinion?
It was great last night. It was really good last night.
I was going to make the cut again. Ann Scott still holding on to that 10th spot, 14-3-1-1. As we show you the replay right here, and yeah,
he just tripped.
Just did. May have grabbed the front foot. I'd like to say thank you to Better Barrel Races for doing a great job with not only putting on the qualifying events all over the country, but supplying us with so much information. Robin Hoffman has been just extraordinary to keep us in tune with everything that's going on with barrel racing. as we go to one of those youngsters that we were talking about. Here is J.C. Kundal from Arizona. She's 12 years old, riding an 11-year-old mare.
Another ranch race horse. This horse is actually named after her. And her dad heads and heels on her. She's really fast. Her mom told me she kind of has a tendency to override a little bit, which is also my problem. But she kind of came out of the third barrel. Now, that might be an example of a little bit of nerves. 12 years old, running for this kind of money.
She looked good until that third barrel.
And it kind of looked like he slipped a little bit there, too.
Just out of the top 10. Tough break for J.C. Kundal as he goes around number 2. Little slip right there, and then things kind of fall apart.
And she lost her stirrup.
Yeah.
And when you lose your stirrup, that can change things. This might be a better example from up top, this view. And she just looks like she was just off balance because she didn't have her right stirrup.
Got to stay in the middle to help that horse. As we go to Callahan Crosby, great rodeo family from the Pacific Northwest. She comes from Hermiston, Oregon, and has done a lot in rodeo, but she says making it to the semifinals is her greatest accomplishment in the game so far.
This is a solid 6-year-old that has taken all 3 sisters to win the Northwest, their college rodeo.
Yeah.
She's just solid.
She's solid. She's a great roper as well. And Callahan is a 14.090. She's in the top 5.
That shows you what those seasoned, older rodeo horses, the ground didn't bother him one bit.
Yeah.
One bit. But I think it's because he's been there and done that.
Take us through the first barrel.
This horse, I watch him all the time, and he just, same run every time. He's a big horse, but you don't give him very much room. This third barrel is perfect.
Just enough slide on the back end to get around.
That's a nice horse right there. Done a lot for that family.
Here is the cowgirl we've been talking about for 2 days. Shelly Anzik get an opportunity to redeem herself for hitting a barrel for $500,000 last year. Left barrel first, now to the right. Shelly Anzik out of Livingston, Montana. Let's see how she handles the third barrel here.
Perfect.
There you go.
She figured it out.
I think so. Nicely done.
14.153.
She is 8th. And she'll have to sweat 10 more.
I'd be sweating. And that horse was a stud till he was 7 years old. Did you know that?
I did not.
It's a dash to fame also.
Well, it has been quite a night, quite a weekend for barrel racing as we are setting things up for the final 10 to go in round 3. Take a look at this again. Where did she lose a 10th?
And really she did, because she, in slack, she kind of did the same thing. The ground was a little looser, and it actually cost her a little more time.
I think she took an extra step around that second barrel.
And he kind of does that. He kind of does that on the second barrel. But he is so fast and strong and fluid in his turns that I don't really think it costs him usually. But that first barrel, that did cost her a little bit of time.
All right, so Shelly Anzik right now is 8th. The cutoff is a 14.271. We'll have 10 more trying to move in that top 10 tomorrow. Let's go to Amy Wilson, who is with Shelly Anzik.
All right, Shelly, we talked to you earlier, and you talked about last year's American. You had a little comeback tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. He's running real strong right now in these smaller arenas where you can't see the first barrel. We're not locked on quite yet, so we did all right tonight.
You're sitting 8th. There's still 10 more to run. How do you feel about that?
Not very good. There's some good. Yeah, keeping my fingers crossed. We left him standing, so we did the best we could tonight.
Well, great job tonight. Hopefully we'll see you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Justin?
Thank you, Amy. Tana Popino and the crew will headline them tomorrow as we take a look at Shelly's run here in barrel racing. One more event to go. It's bull riding with Justin McBride when we come back.